The night was silent in the deep woods where Liam lived. His cabin stood far from the town. Surrounded by tall trees and cold air, Liam liked the peace. He had no neighbors, no loud sounds, just the rustling of leaves and the quiet songs of owls. But that night, something strange happened out around midnight. Liam was reading near the fireplace when he heard a sharp roar in the sky. It was not thunder. It sounded like metal tearing through the air. The sound grew louder, then suddenly stopped. A second later, the earth shook slightly. Something had crashed nearby. Liam stood up quickly and grabbed his flashlight. He stepped outside into the cold wind. The sky was dark, but a thin trail of smoke rose from the trees beyond the hill. His heart beat faster. Planes did not fly this way. Nothing ever did. He thought of calling someone, but his phone had no signal out here. Without wasting time, he put on his coat and boots and walked toward the smoke. The trail was not easy. Sharp branches scratched his arms as he pushed through the thick forest. The smell of burning metal filled the air. After 15 minutes of walking, he reached a clearing. His eyes widened out. In the center of the clearing was a strange object. It looked like a small pod, half buried in the dirt. The ground around it was black and steaming. The pod was not made of anything he recognized. It shimmered slightly, with lines that pulsed like veins. A part of it had cracked open. Liam stepped closer, his flashlight trembling in his hand. He looked inside the pod and gasped. There was someone inside. A young woman lay curled up, her skin pale with silver lines running across her arms. She looked human, but not completely. Her hair was white and floated lightly, as if it moved on its own. She wore a dark, smooth suit that hugged her body. Her chest moved slowly. She was alive but weak. "Hey," Liam said softly. "Can you hear me?" She opened her eyes. They were bright blue, glowing faintly in the dark. She looked at him, confused, blinking slowly. She tried to speak, but no words came. Instead, she reached toward him, then collapsed again. Liam hesitated. He had no idea who or what she was, but he couldn't leave her here. The cold would kill her. He carefully picked her up. She was lighter than he expected. Her body was warm, almost too warm, like she carried heat inside her. It took him a while to walk back through the woods with her in his arms. When he reached the cabin, he placed her gently on the couch and covered her with a blanket. She did not wake. Liam sat across from her, staring. Who was she? Where had she come from? Was she even human? Hours passed. The fire kept the room warm. Liam watched her chest rise and fall. She looked peaceful now. He noticed her skin glowing faintly in the light, not bright, but soft like the moon behind a cloud. Suddenly, she opened her eyes again. She turned her head and looked at him. "You smell different," she said, her voice quiet and tired. Her accent was strange, like someone who had never spoken the language before. Then, before he could reply, she closed her eyes and fell asleep beside him. Liam sat frozen. He wasn't sure if she was talking to him or dreaming. He waited for her to move again. But she did in single quotes T. Outside, the wind howled through the trees. The forest was dark and cold, but inside the cabin, it was warm and still. Liam stared at the sleeping woman, her silver-lined skin glowing softly under the firelight. He didn't know who she was or why she had crashed here, but he knew one thing for sure. His life had just changed forever. Warming sunlight touched the edge of the cabin as Liam sat near the window, still watching the strange woman. She had not moved since falling asleep beside him. Her breathing was slow but steady. The soft silver lines on her arms glowed faintly under the blanket. Liam had barely slept. Questions ran through his mind all night. Who was she? What did she mean by "you smell different"? Where did she come from? He stood up and walked into the kitchen. He poured himself a cup of warm water and looked out the window. The forest was quiet, no sign of movement, no sound from the sky. When he turned back, she was awake. She sat up slowly, blinking at her surroundings. Her eyes met his, and for a long moment, they stared at each other. "You're awake," Liam said carefully. She nodded, but her movements were weak. Liam stepped forward and asked, "Can you speak? Do you understand me?" She opened her mouth. and replied with a quiet voice, "I try." Her words were clear but slow, as if she had just learned them. "I'm Liam," he said, pointing at himself. She looked at him, then said, "Mira." He gave a small smile. "Mira, that's your name." She nodded once. Liam poured another cup of warm water and handed it to her. She looked at it with confusion, then touched the cup gently. Her fingers glowed slightly. The water began to warm. More, almost too hot. She quickly pulled her hand back. Liam raised his eyebrows. "That's not normal," he said softly. "I do not eat food," Mira said, looking down. "I take light and heat. You feed from sunlight, yes?" She whispered. Liam walked to the window and opened the curtain. Light poured in. Mira slowly turned toward it, letting the rays fall on her face. Her skin brightened slightly, and she sighed as if feeling better already. He watched her carefully. "You're not from here, are you?" She looked at him, her face calm. "No, I come from far." "How far?" She raised her hand and pointed to the sky, stars. "I ran, I crashed." "Why were you running?" Her expression changed. Her lips pressed together. Her eyes darkened. "Bad ones," she said. "They chase. They hunt." Liam felt a chill. "Who are they?" Mira shook her head slowly. "Not now. I am weak." He understood. She needed time. He helped her sit closer to the window where the sunlight was stronger. She closed her eyes and let the warmth soak into her. Liam stepped away and gave her space. While Mira rested, Liam cleaned up the cabin. He looked out the window often, checking the skies. Something about her story worried him. If she was running and someone was chasing, they might come here. Later that afternoon, Mira stood by herself for the first time. She moved slowly, but with more strength. She walked around the cabin, touching simple things and looking curious. She pointed at the bookshelf. "What is this?" "Books," Liam said. "Stories, information, stories," she asked. He picked up one and showed her the cover. She touched the paper gently, almost with wonder. "No stories on my world," she said. "Only tasks. Only duty." "That sounds sad," Liam said. "It is normal," she replied. Then she looked at him again, her expression soft. "You smell different," she said once more. Liam gave a small laugh. "You said that before." "What do you mean?" She walked closer and took a breath near him. "No trace," she said. "No mark, no pull." Liam tilted his head. "I don't understand. My kind." Mira explained slowly. "We can sense others by smell, by air. Every being has something, a mark of their world. You have none. You are empty. It is peaceful." Liam didn't know what to say. He had never thought of smell as something important, but to Mira, it meant something deep. Suddenly, a faint sound echoed in the air. A low hum, like a distant engine. Mira froze. Her eyes widened. She stepped back from the window. "What is that?" Liam asked. She closed her eyes and listened. Then she said quietly, "They search." Liam rushed outside. He looked at the sky. A small black drone moved far above the trees. It passed over the cabin slowly, almost like it was scanning. Liam ran back inside. "There's a drone, a flying machine, watching." Mira looked afraid for the first time. "They find signals," she said. "My pod, it speaks. It calls them." Liam thought quickly. "Then we need to hide it. Destroy it if we have to." Mira shook her head. "Too late. They know. They send more." Liam clenched his fists. "We'll figure something out." Mira stared at him with a serious look. "You helped me." "Why?" He paused, then said, "Because. You needed help. You were hurt. You didn't ask for this." She looked down, her voice soft. "No one helps like this. Not where I am from." "You're not there now," Liam replied. The drone sound faded away. The forest became quiet again. But the tension stayed in the room. Mira walked back to the window. She looked at the sky and whispered, "I must not be caught. What I carry is not safe." Liam heard her words but did not ask more yet. He felt the weight of something bigger than himself unfolding around him. As night returned, Mira lay near the window where the moonlight touched her. Liam sat nearby, not sure what tomorrow would bring. But he knew one thing. The moment she crashed into the forest, his life had changed, and now there was no turning back. The next morning, Liam woke up early. Mira was already standing near the open window. Her hands stretched toward the sunlight. Her face was calm, her eyes closed. The soft silver lines on her skin glowed brighter than before. "You look stronger." "Today," Liam said from across the room. Mira opened her eyes slowly. "Sun is good. I take its warmth." Liam made some tea for himself and sat near the table. Mira joined him. She didn't eat or drink, but she watched his every move with quiet interest. "We have a problem," Liam said. "That drone yesterday. If they saw the crash, they might send more. We need to move your pod or do something about it." Mira looked down. "The pod has a core. It sends out signal. I can stop it, but I need tools." "What kind of tools?" "Metal wires, energy, parts. I know what to do. I just need things." Liam nodded. "There's an old shed near the hill. My grandfather kept some broken machines there. Maybe we can find something useful." They walked through the forest together. Birds flew overhead and the wind whispered through the trees. Mira looked around with wide eyes, sometimes stopping to touch the bark of trees or to feel the moss on rocks. "This place," she said softly, "it is alive. My world is not like this." "What is your world like?" Liam asked. "Cold. Many towers. Big machines. All must follow order." "Do people live freely?" She shook her head. "No. Free living. Just tasks. I did my duty. I obeyed. Until I took the core and ran." Liam stopped walking. "You stole it?" Mira looked at him. "Yes, but not to keep. I wanted to hide it, protect it. Why? It controls something old, something strong. They wanted to use it to destroy others. I could not allow it." Liam saw the pain in her eyes. She was not just a lost traveler. She had risked everything for something she believed in. At the shed, they found broken radios, rusted wires, and parts from old machines. Mira carefully picked through the pile, choosing small pieces and holding them close to her chest. "These can help," she said. "I can build a scanner. It will show who is near." They returned to the cabin. Mira cleared a space on the table and began working. Her fingers moved fast, connecting wires and metal bits in a way Liam couldn't understand. She hummed softly as she worked. The silver glow from her skin passed into the device with every touch. After a few hours, the small scanner was complete. It looked like a box with a glass screen and blinking lights. Mira powered it on. The screen lit up with faint dots and lines. She pressed a few buttons. Then she froze. "They are near," she whispered. "3 machines. Not drones, walkers." They searched in the forest. Liam looked at the screen. "How close?" 5 hills away. "They come slow, but they will find this place. Can we stop?" "The signal from your pod now?" Mira nodded. "Yes, I have what I need." They hurried to the crash site. The pod still lay in the clearing, partly hidden by fallen branches. Mira opened a side panel and began pulling wires from the inside. A strange blue light pulsed from within the pod. Liam stood guard, watching the trees. The wind had picked up, and the air felt heavy. Mira pulled out a glowing orb from the pod's center. She held it in her hands, and the light inside faded slowly. "It is silent now," she said. "No more calling." They covered the pod with leaves and dirt as best they could. Mira looked tired again, but she didn't stop. "Do you think they will still come?" Liam asked. "They may already know I am here," she said, "but now they cannot track me through the core." They returned to the cabin. Mira used the scanner again. The dots on the screen moved slowly but steadily. "They scan for life," she said. "They do not know me yet, but if they come close, they will sense my body." Liam leaned against the wall. "Then we need a plan. We can't fight machines. I can fight, but only once. My energy is not enough for many." Liam thought for a moment. "You said something yesterday, that I don't have a mark, that I smell different. Can they track me?" "No. You have no world mark. That makes you safe. They will not notice you. Then maybe I can draw them away." Mira looked at him with wide eyes. "Too dangerous. You are not strong like them." "No," Liam said, "but I can distract them." Leave them far from here. Give you time. She stepped closer. Why do you help me? You owe me nothing. Liam gave a small smile. Maybe I don't. But I don't like the idea of machines hunting someone who tried to do the right thing. Mira was silent for a moment. Then she said, You are not like the others I knew. You carry no mark. But you carry something else. What's that? Kindness. The room fell quiet. The scanner beeped softly in the background. The dots moved closer. Mira touched the scanner and pulled out a small chip. Take this. If danger comes, crush it. It will send out a flash. I will come. Liam took the chip and placed it in his pocket. He looked out the window. The forest no longer felt peaceful. It felt like something was watching. The sun began to set. Long shadows stretched across the cabin floor. We may not have much time, Liam said. Mira nodded. Then we must use it well. As night returned once again, the stars blinked high above. Somewhere among them was Mira's home. But here, on this quiet planet, a stranger had become her only hope. Night fell over the forest like a dark blanket. The trees stood still, and the wind stopped blowing. Inside the cabin, Liam checked the scanner again. The dots on the screen were now closer. 3 of them moved slowly but steadily, almost like footsteps. The air felt heavy, like a storm was near. Mira stood near the door, her hands glowing softly. Her eyes were calm, but Liam could see she was ready for something. Her silver-lined skin shimmered in the moonlight that slipped through the window. They are close, she said. Very close now. Liam looked at her. How do they hunt? Can they smell you? Track your heat. They sense energy, Mira said. I give off light, heat, life. You do not. That is why you are safe. Then I'll stay outside. Liam said, Maybe they'll ignore me. Mira shook her head. If they touch you, they will know you helped me. Then they will mark you. 2. Liam stepped back and opened the drawer. He pulled out an old flashlight and a hunting knife. I'll take the back path into the trees. If I see them, I'll make noise and run. Maybe they'll follow. Mira touched his arm gently. If they catch you, they won't talk. They will take or burn. Liam gave a small nod. I'll be careful. He left through the back door and slipped into the shadows. The moon lit the trail just enough for him to see. The cold air wrapped around him as he moved through the trees. Branches cracked under his boots. But he kept going. Suddenly, the scanner in his pocket beeped twice. He stopped. A strange sound filled the forest. It was not an animal or a machine. It was both. A deep hum mixed with the clank of metal legs. Then he saw it. A creature stepped out from behind the trees. It was taller than a man, made of silver metal and black wires. Its arms were long, ending in sharp claws. Its head had no eyes, only a single red line that pulsed back and forth. Liam held his breath. The machine scanned the air, then turned its head slowly. It stepped forward, sniffing the ground without a nose. A second machine joined it, moving with the same strange rhythm. Both walked with purpose, like they knew where they were going. Suddenly, one of them turned and looked in Liam's direction. He ran. Branches slapped his face as he pushed through the forest. He didn't look back. He just ran. Behind him, he heard the machines moving faster. They did not speak. They did not yell. They just chased. Liam reached a slope and jumped down, rolling into the leaves. He hid behind a thick tree. Holding his breath, the footsteps came closer. He grabbed the small chip Mira gave him and held it tight. One of the machines passed by him. Just a few feet away, it stopped, turned its head. The red light scanned the area. Liam was ready to crush the chip, but then something else happened. A bright flash lit the sky above the trees. A wave of energy hit the ground. The machine looked up sharply. From the trees came a soft humming sound. It was Mira. She had left the cabin. From the top of a hill, she stood glowing like a small sun. Her hands stretched out, light pulsed from her fingers. The machines turned and rushed toward her. Liam jumped up. No, he whispered. Mira released a pulse of white light. It struck one of the machines and sent it flying. The second machine dodged and leapt at her. She blocked with her arms, but the impact threw her back. Liam ran toward her. He reached just in time to see her push herself off the ground. Her face was pale. Her glow was fading. One of the machines rose again, its claws aimed at her chest. Liam didn't think. He grabbed a fallen branch and swung it at the machine. The branch broke, but the noise distracted it for a moment. Mira used that second to release another burst of light. It hit the machine straight in the chest. Sparks flew, and it collapsed. The third machine appeared from the trees. It moved faster than the others. Mira turned, but she was too slow now. Liam ran forward and shouted, "Over here!" The machine turned toward him. It took one step. Then, Mira raised both hands and released one final pulse. The light was blinding. The third machine froze, then fell to the ground. Everything went silent. Mira dropped to her knees. Her hands stopped glowing. Her body swayed. Liam ran to her and held her before she fell. "Mira, stay with me." She opened her eyes slowly. "I used too much. My core is empty. Can you recover?" "Yes," she whispered. "But I need time." "And son." Liam looked around. The broken machines lay still. Pieces of metal sparked on the ground. He helped Mira back to the cabin. Each step was slow. Her skin had lost most of its glow inside. He laid her near the window where the moonlight reached. She looked up at him and smiled weakly. "You ran." "Toward me, not away." "I said I'd help," Liam said. "I meant it." Mira reached for his hand. Her fingers were cold now. "You are still different," she whispered. Liam sat beside her, watching her eyes slowly close. Outside, the wind moved again. The stars blinked above the trees. The battle was over for now, but they both knew this was just the beginning. The next morning, soft light filled the cabin. Mira lay near the window, her face pale but peaceful. Her silver lines were still faint, but a soft glow had returned to her hands. Liam sat nearby, watching over her, tired but alert. He stood and opened the curtain wider, letting more sunlight inside. Mira's body responded to the warmth. Her chest rose more steadily now, and her skin slowly began to shine again. Liam stepped into the kitchen and poured himself a cup of tea. He stared at the wooden table, thinking about the night before. 3 machines had attacked. Mira had fought them off, but it cost her strength. Too much. She had saved him. He walked back to her side and gently placed a blanket over her shoulders. Her eyes opened halfway, and she gave him a small nod. "Thank you," she said in a soft voice. "You should be the one hearing that," Liam replied. "You saved me. Again. I would do it again." She whispered, "You are the only one who saw me and did not run." "I didn't have a reason to run," Liam said with a small smile. "You didn't scare me." She smiled weakly. "Most would fear. You didn't. That matters." They sat in silence for a while. The wind outside had changed. It was colder now, but calm. The forest looked the same, yet Liam felt the difference. Something was building, something heavier than before. Later that day, Mira tried to stand. Her legs shook, but she stayed on her feet. Liam rushed to help her, but she raised her hand gently. "I must learn to move again. My power will not always be enough. You need more sun. You need food," Liam said. "I do not eat like you," she replied, "but I can take energy from other sources. Light is the best. Heat also helps." "I have an idea," Liam said. "There's an old power station 10 miles from here. It's abandoned now, but it had solar panels. Maybe some still work." Mira looked at him. "It could help, but it is far, and the others may still search." "I'll go alone," Liam said. "You need to rest." Mira shook her head. "I cannot let you go without me. They may come. If you are caught, I cannot reach you fast." "Enough. Then we go together," Liam replied. "We'll move carefully." They packed what they needed. Mira covered herself in a long coat and scarf to hide the glow of her skin. Liam carried a small backpack with tools, food, and water. They left the cabin before sunset. The journey was slow. Mira walked beside him, sometimes leaning on his arm. Her body grew stronger as the sun touched her skin. By the time they reached the hills, she was walking on her own. At the top of a ridge, They looked down and saw the remains of the power station. Broken panels lay across the open field, covered in dust and leaves, but a few still stood upright, reflecting the last rays of sunlight. This place was built for light, Mira said. It feels good. They climbed down carefully and explored. The site, Liam found some wires and small batteries that still worked. Mira touched one panel and smiled. This is good, she said. I can use this. She sat beside it, placed her hands flat on the metal, and closed her eyes. The glow returned to her arms slowly. Her face looked brighter, stronger. While she absorbed the energy, Liam searched for anything useful. In a small shed nearby, he found a working radio, though it was old and dusty. He turned it on, and static filled the air. Then a voice came through. This is Sector 9. Unusual energy detected in Zone 4. Send sweepers. Stay alert. Liam froze. Zone 4 was near the cabin. Near them, he rushed back to Mira. She opened her eyes as he arrived. We need to go, Liam said. They're sending more machines. They found something near our area. Mira stood up quickly. Then they may go to your cabin. They may find the pod. We have to lead them away again. Liam said. Mira paused. Or we can end it. I have a way to send a signal. A message to my people. But I need time. And safety. Liam thought for a moment. We can't go back to the cabin. But there's a cave near the lake. Hidden, deep, and far from roads. No signals pass through the stone. We can stay there while you send the message. Mira nodded. Yes, that place will help. As they prepared to leave, Mira touched Liam's hand. Her fingers were warm now. You have risked much for me, she said. I said I'd help, Liam replied. You feel familiar to me, she said quietly. But not from my world. It is something else. Liam didn't know how to answer, but his heart felt heavy with emotion. He was just a man from a quiet forest, yet somehow he had become part of something far beyond the earth. That night, they reached the cave. Mira sat at the center, setting up the small device with wires and crystals she had built earlier. Liam built a fire to keep them warm. As the flames danced on the cave walls, Mira looked at him. Her face glowed softly again. When I first saw you, she said, you were alone, quiet, and you smelled different. Now I know why. You are not marked by fear. You are free. Liam smiled. You're the first to ever say that to me. She lay beside him near the fire, her eyes still open. You make me feel safe. No machine ever did. No star ever gave that feeling. Then she closed her eyes and drifted to sleep. Liam stayed awake, watching the entrance of the cave, listening to the quiet night. He knew the danger was not over. But for now, Mira was safe, and that was enough. The fire in the cave crackled quietly. Liam sat with his back against the wall, watching the soft red glow light up the space. Mira slept beside the flames, breathing slowly. Her skin was calm now, her glow steady like it had found balance again. Morning came with no warning. Sunlight didn't reach deep into the cave, but the world outside had already begun to move. Birds sang in the distance, leaves rustled softly. The forest, for a short while, seemed peaceful. Mira opened her eyes. Liam turned to her. How do you feel? She sat up slowly, stronger. The rest helped. The cave was a good choice. Liam nodded. Is your message device ready? Mira reached into her small bag and pulled out the crystal panel and metal rings she had built earlier. The scanner was already glowing with slow-moving light. It is ready, she said. But the signal must be sent from high ground. The cave blocks it. There's a tall ridge north of here, Liam said. We can reach it before sunset. If we move now. Mira agreed. They packed quietly, leaving the cave as the morning air cooled their skin. The forest felt different, less friendly. Somewhere out there, the hunters were still searching. As they climbed the ridge, the trees thinned out. The sky above was wide and blue. From the top, they could see far mountains in the distance, the lake below, and thick green stretches of forest. Mira placed the device on a flat stone. She turned the ring 3 times and pressed her hand to the panel. It responded with a gentle hum. Light began to rise into the air. This is an old frequency, she said. Only my people will hear it. If it works, they will come. Liam stood beside her, watching the stream of light grow taller. It didn't shine like a human-made beam. It shimmered, almost like it was alive. How long until they answer? He asked. It depends on how far they are, Mira replied. But the signal is loud. It travels through space like a scream. They will hear it. The signal continued to rise for several minutes. Then the light began to twist and scatter. The device made a strange sound, a warning tone. Mira's face changed. Something is trying to block it. Can they stop it? Liam asked. They can try. From below the ridge, they heard a noise. It was deep and sharp, like metal grinding against stone. Liam ran to the edge and looked down. 4 machines were moving through the forest, faster than before. They were not scanning anymore. They were coming with purpose. They found us, he said. Mira turned off the device and held it tightly. They felt the signal. They followed its trail. We need to move, Liam said. We'll lead them away again. No, Mira said. We stand here. What do you mean? I can finish the message, but it must stay open for 1 full minute. I can hold them off for that long. Liam grabbed her arm. You can't fight them alone. You cannot stop them. But I can slow them. I won't let you do it alone. Mira looked at him, her voice calm. You are not a warrior, but your spirit is brave. That is why I trust you. She touched the device again. The light beam returned, reaching high into the sky. The machine's sound grew louder as they climbed the hill. Then the first one appeared. It was bigger than the others. Its body was black and sharp, with 4 legs and 2 long arms. Its chest opened and revealed a spinning red core. Mira stepped forward. Her hands glowed white again. She raised her arms and sent a pulse of light toward the machine. It hit with a blast, but the creature kept moving. Liam picked up a heavy branch and stood beside her. I'm with you, he said. The machine charged. Mira sent another pulse. This one hit the legs, sparks flew, and the creature stumbled. 2 more machines climbed up behind it. Mira dropped to one knee. Her glow flickered. Keep the signal going, Liam shouted. I'll handle the rest. He ran forward, waving the branch. One of the smaller machines turned toward him. It swung its claw, and he dodged just in time. He hit it in the side, but the metal was too strong. Mira stood again. She sent out a wave of light that pushed the machines back. Her voice echoed through the hilltop. Leave this place. You will not win. The lead machine fired a beam of energy from its chest. Mira raised a shield of light. It blocked the blast, but the force knocked her down. Liam rushed to her. You can't keep doing this. I must. Just a little longer. Suddenly, the sky above changed. The clouds began to twist. A beam of golden light broke through the sky. A new sound filled the air, smooth, deep, and powerful. Mira looked up. Her face softened. They heard me. A ship appeared above the clouds. It was large, silent, and shaped like a wing. It hovered without shaking the trees or breaking the ground. The machines stopped moving. They turned toward the sky, confused. The ship released a wave of blue light. It struck the machines below. One by one, they dropped, powered off like empty shells. Liam stared in awe. Is that your people? Yes, Mira whispered. They came for me. The ship slowly descended, floating just above the ridge. A smooth ramp opened from its side. 2 figures stepped out. They looked like Mira, with silver-lined skin and calm eyes. Mira stood tall again, even though her legs shook. One of the figures spoke. You have done well. The core is safe. Liam took a step back, unsure if he should leave. Mira turned to him. Come with me. He looked at her. I don't belong up there. The alien leader looked at Liam closely. He is marked by nothing, but bonded by choice. Mira held out her hand. You saved me. More than once. You stood with me. That means something. Liam nodded. All right, let's see where this goes. They walked together toward the ship. Behind them, the ridge was quiet again. The sky had cleared. The machines were gone. The signal had reached its end. But the journey was just beginning. The ship's ramp was cool beneath Liam's feet as he stepped onto the smooth surface. Mira walked beside him. her silver-lined skin shimmering softly under the gentle lights. The ship hummed quietly, filled with strange machines and soft music. That made Liam's heart beat faster. He looked back once toward the ridge below. The forest stretched far and wide, quiet now. The machines were gone. The message had been sent, and the stars had answered. Inside the ship, the alien leader who had greeted them spoke with a calm voice. "You carry no mark from your world," she said, looking at Liam with bright eyes. "But you carry a mark of your own, loyalty and courage." Liam felt a strange warmth inside. "I didn't expect to be part of this." Mira smiled softly. "You saved me, Liam. You chose to protect what was right. That choice matters more than any mark." The ship began to move upward. Outside, the blue sky gave way to the blackness of space filled with shining stars. Liam pressed his hands against the window, amazed by the beauty of the universe. As they traveled, Mira explained more about her world and the danger they had escaped. "Our people guard an ancient power," she said. "The core I took holds energy from long ago. The hunters wanted to use it to control many worlds. I ran to stop them." Liam nodded slowly. "And now you're safe, for now," Mira said. "But there is more to do. The core must be returned to its place." The ship came to a large station orbiting a bright blue planet. Liam saw ships like theirs docking and leaving. The place was alive with light and activity. Mira led him to a room filled with other beings like her. They welcomed her with gentle smiles and quiet words. Liam watched and felt like an outsider, but Mira took his hand. "You are part of this now," she said. Days passed as Mira and her people prepared for the next steps. Liam learned about the stars and the ancient powers guarded by Mira's people. He listened carefully, feeling the weight of their responsibility. One evening, Mira took Liam to a quiet garden inside the station. Strange plants glowed softly, and water flowed in gentle streams. She looked at him with soft eyes. "You still smell different," Liam laughed. "I'm still me, just caught in something bigger than I expected." She reached out and touched his cheek gently. "Your kindness is rare. It gives me hope." Liam felt his heart beat faster. "I want to help. I want to be part of this." Mira smiled, then whispered, "There's a way." The next day, they traveled to a distant planet. The core was kept in a hidden temple carved into the rocks. Mira's people believed it was the key to peace in the galaxy. Liam helped carry the core inside. The temple was old but powerful. Light filled the halls as they walked. When they reached the chamber, Mira placed the core on a pedestal. It began to glow, spreading warmth and energy through the room. Suddenly, the ground shook. The hunters had followed them. The dark machines burst into the temple, ready to fight. Mira stood tall. Liam held her hand. Together, they faced the machines. Light clashed with metal. Mira's powers grew stronger with Liam's support. The machines fell one by one. When the last machine was defeated, peace returned. The core shone brightly, a symbol of hope. Mira turned to Liam. "You were brave." "Thank you." Liam smiled. "I learned from you." As the stars shone outside, Liam knew his life had changed forever, from a quiet forest on Earth to the vastness of space. He had found a new family. Mira rested beside him once again. She whispered softly, "You still smell different, and that difference saved us all." Together, they looked at the stars, ready for whatever came next.